Well, good day, folks. How you doing today? I hope you're having an awesome day. Now, I'm sure you can guess from the little intro clip the knife we're going to be looking at today, and it is a knife from the American Wildlife Series. Now, that was a series introduced by Camillus in 1975, I believe, to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the U.S. and the 100th anniversary of Camillus Knives, which started, I believe, in 1876. So there were several series for this knife line, and they tended to celebrate basically American wildlife. This knife comes from the third series, which was all about the bird knives. So this has nickel silver bolsters and pins. It has jigged Delrin covers. As here on this particular one, a wild turkey in the shield. Now the shields, the engraving is pewter, and then it's covered by clear acrylic. The sculptor for the various animal sculptures was a gentleman by the name of Sid Bell. Apparently he was a renowned wildlife sculptor. This particular model comes with a gut hook, and this would be for removing the innards of the birds you captured. And it also has a Turkish clip point. You can see here American wildlife etched into the blade. And Camillus, New York, USA. That has a very nice, healthy snap on the open. Now, this is a smaller knife, well, because it's for small game like birds. The closed length comes in at right about 4 inches. Your blade length comes in at just maybe 2/8 shy of 3 inches, with a cutting surface at right about, just a little shy of 2 3/4. You can see here, model number is 17, and this would be 17C for the wild turkey. Very nice snap to the close, good strong springs. Now, I've seen the knives from these Camillus Wildlife Series on several other channels and all over eBay. They command a pretty good price. I got a good deal on this one. I got it for about $40, not including shipping and taxes. So I was quite pleased with that. So I really kind of taken a real shine to this series because I'm an outdoors guy and I love wildlife. Had it not been for a mysterious thing called calculus, I probably would have been a wildlife biologist. I was either going to swim with the whales or run with the wolves when I was a young fella. Then I met calculus, and that kind of changed everything. We gave the acrylic a little polish. The nice green background here. So that's the knife for today. Now, if you'd like to stick around, I'm going to bring up some displays, just talking a little bit about the Wildlife Series. So as stated, the series came in 1975. There are a total of 18 knives in the series. The knives are 440A high carbon stainless steel for the blades, nickel silver bolsters and pins, Delrin covers, and many of them came in a display, and with some of the knives that included a sharpening steel or mandrel, and they say that was made out of camstone. I don't know what that is, but that's what they say about it. Now, Series 1, which we'll show here, was the Trapper series. And it had 4 models. The 10A, which has the deer head. The 10B, which has the howling coyote, and that has a blue background. 10C, which is a running deer. And 10D, a charging bear. And that seems to be one of the more common ones in the series, or of that series, at least, that I see on eBay and whatnot. Now, the second series was also trappers, and it came with the model 10E, which was a moose head, the model 10F, which is an elk head, the model 10G, which is a mountain sheep or ram's head, and the model 10H, which was a pronghorn antelope. Series 3, which this knife comes from, was a departure to the bird knife. And the 17A has the mallard duck. The 17B has the Canada goose, which is kind of interesting because the American Wildlife Series and it's a Canada goose, but we can't lay claim to them. They fly all over the world, and I'm sure they're well hunted everywhere. 17C, which is this one, the wild turkey. And then 17D, the ring-necked pheasant. Series 4 took another departure, and that was the Fisherman's Edition. And that had only 2 knives in it. And the shield for this one was a bass. And you had 2 knives, the 1006 fillet knife and the 32 angler, which was a 2-bladed folding knife. Then came the 5th edition. And I'm going to assume this one was a big step up in price because the 5th edition was the lockback edition. And this series was all of the same emblems or shields from the initial first series, but this time they were 14 karat gold plated. And they were the 11A, B, C, and D, with your deer, your running deer, your charging bear, and your howling coyote. Now, a lot of what I've been throwing up here are clips from an actual Camillus magazine. And some of the other interesting things they had was you could get display cases for these things. So they had modular display cases, which would stack. They had the display cases for a variety of their knives. But if you could find one of those display cases with all the knives in it, that's probably going to go for a pretty penny, and it would be an awesome thing for any collector. So that about sums it up, folks. So the Camillus Wildlife Series, very, very, in my opinion, collectible knives. And other people must think so because the trappers, I see them typically run up here in Canada in around the $200 range, give or take. And that depends if they come with the display cases, because each one of these knives came with a display case. And depending on the knife, it had would have the steel with it, the sharpening steel or not, but nice little fold over top on the box and everything. So the bird knives just came with the knife. There was nothing, no sharpening steel or anything with them. But I got this one. It didn't have the case or anything, so part of why I got it at such a good price. But if you can find them out there with the individual display cases, or if you can find that big display for all of them, you got yourself a fine piece for your collection. Anyway, folks, we'll leave it at that. I hope you enjoyed that little bit of information. Maybe it'll help you out in your collecting if you're interested in these knives, or I'm sorry if you weren't interested in these knives, and I now have you interested in these knives because you're heading down a rabbit hole. But great looking knives. Some people don't like the shield. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. It's kind of what makes them collectible, really. But anyway, folks, you have an awesome day. And we're getting some bad weather here. It's going to be freezing rain, but if it's nice where you're at, get out and spend some time in the woods. Go check out some wildlife, whether it's American, Canadian, or the wildlife wherever you're at. If you do, take a knife with you. Might just come in handy. You all take care.